Debbie Dingell is a congresswoman from Michigan. She's a Democrat, and she replaced John Dingell. The Dingells have been, representatives from Michigan for approximately 2,000 years. So Dingell was the longest-serving congressman. So if anyone's in the establishment, they are. Now that doesn't mean they're bad people. And John Dingell was very progressive in a lot of ways, and partly because he's from the old school, where they actually used to be liberals back in the day. Now, Debbie Dingell, I don't know that much about outside of her general positions, and then this clip, which, boy, sounds exactly like the establishment that we have great issues with. So now it's a short clip. I want to show it to you, and then I want to break down all the different problems in what she says here. Let's watch.
But I don't believe Republicans want to repeal it, really, because they don't want to go back to the day of pre-existing conditions and insurances being canceled as soon as you get a diagnosis of cancer or diabetes.
That's why they say repeal and replace. As you know, Congresswoman, they want to repeal that thing like they want their next breath.
Well, we need to create something that's going to work more in favor of the people, but Hillary Clinton herself has said we need to tweak the law. We need to go in and look at making changes, but we need to do it together, Chris. I think one of the worst things that happened on the Affordable Care Act is that it was all Democrats. Republicans and Democrats have got to start working together. That's one of the reasons we see what we see out there this year. American people are tired of the partisan bickering, and the millennials, who aren't sure what they want to vote at all, are just tired and fed up. They want to see us work together. So I do believe that Hillary Clinton, I've known her a long time, you know I've known her for a long time, will reach out and work with everybody.
Well, that's partly what we're afraid of, especially millennials. So you don't speak for millennials, and you're very wrong about what they think. I'll correct you in a second on that because I have the facts, and not just a politician going, I know what millennials think. But let's break down all the different things that are wrong in that clip. First of all, she says, yeah, Hillary Clinton, I promise you will work with the Republicans to tweak Obamacare. I don't know who you think you're appealing to, but that's not a promise that's very encouraging. So she goes on to say that the main problem with Obamacare was that it was all Democrats. Now, wait a minute now. Look, we have to look into what you mean by that. Because in a perfect world, would I want Democrats and Republicans to hold hands and sing Kumbaya and pass legislation together that helped the American people? Yes. But we don't live in that world. In the world we actually lived in, the Republicans fought the Affordable Care Act tooth and nail. And there was no way they were ever going to agree to any part of it. I know, I was there, I covered it every day. They said, public option, hell no. They took it out. Well, you took it out, thank you so much. Still, hell no. How about any of the provisions? Do you want to, do the exchanges? Hell no. Do you want to do subsidies? Hell no. You name it, the answer was hell no. So, Representative Dingell, how in the world would you work with those guys? The only way you could have worked with those guys is if you gave them almost everything as a concession. Well, then the Affordable Care Act would have been far worse than it already is. It's already too conservative. It was based on an idea from the Heritage Foundation. That's a fact. Go look it up. It's the same plan as Mitt Romney passed in Massachusetts. It was already a conservative idea, and the Republicans wanted to just strip away anything that might be reasonable in that original conservative idea and make it extreme right wing. How in the world would you have worked with those people? To say that the problem with the bill was that the Democrats just passed it by itself puts the blame on the Democrats when that wasn't so. And the amazing and frustrating thing is, she's a Democrat. But this is the classic establishment weak sauce Democrat. Oh, we're so sorry, it's our fault. We should have worked with the Republicans. Oh, when they said all those outrageous things about how it was our fault, I will validate that on national TV, even though it isn't true. Okay, and then you know what we'll do if we get elected? Vote for a Democrat and we'll work with Republicans. Winning strategy. Great idea. Vote for a Democrat and we'll follow what the Republicans say because they keep saying the Affordable Care Act is bad. We agree with them and we will change it with the Republicans. Even if that is your position, and it's a position that I would disagree with on policy grounds, it is a terrible political thing to say 2 weeks before an election. Our opponents are right and we're wrong. But it's what Democrats say all the time. Oh, the Republicans are right, but we're kind of Republican too. We like corporations. I wish we'd given more to the insurance companies. Oh, golly gee, please vote for us. We're Republican light. miserable losing strategy. Now, finally, the one that really got under my skin and why we're doing this story. Oh, millennials want us to work together. Really? Where'd you get that from? I can't stand it when pundits on TV and politicians go on there and go, the American people believe this. And now they switch it from American people to millennials. Really, Congresswoman Dingell? What poll did you do of millennials? You got some sort of connection to millennials I'm not aware of? Well, we do here at the Young Turks because our show is powered by millennials. It's 70% of our audience. And we literally get tens of thousands of comments from them every single day on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, email, and the list goes on and on. So I think we have a little bit of a sense, but forget it. I'm not even going to do a sense of what I think the audience is based on comments. I'm going to give you actual polling, facts. Liberal millennials, and by the way, there really aren't that many others, as you're about to see. Millennials are the most liberal generation in American history, as long as there's been polling. And they're not interested in you working with Republicans. They can't stand Republicans. So let's go to the poll. And by the way, this is according to Frank Luntz, a Republican pollster. He says Americans 18 to 26 are extremely liberal. So liberal that the hostility of young Americans to underpinnings of the American economy and the American government should, quote, frighten every business and political leader. Does that sound like millennials want to work with Republicans? No, that's the Republican pollster saying it should frighten the hell out of us how much they don't want to work with us. Tell me again what millennials think. Go ahead. Establishment, I would argue, corrupt, corporatist, Democrat, telling me what millennials think. Okay, well, if millennials want to work with Republicans, Democrats, Republicans, they'd probably poll just as well, right? Most liked and respected political figure by millennials, 31% Bernie Sanders. A distant second, 18% Barack Obama. Third, Hillary Clinton at 11%. I still haven't gotten to a Republican. There's one running in the race, right? 9% Donald Trump, just 9%. Let's just finish up the list because I hear Republicans are so respected by millennials. George Bush, 5%, Ted Cruz, 5%, and then finally Bill Clinton and Elizabeth Warren there at the end as well. Elizabeth Warren with less name recognition because she wasn't one of the major players in the race, and the millennials weren't around when Bill Clinton was president. But in terms of popularity, it's pretty clear who they like and who they do not like and don't want you to work with. Okay, now let's go to the degree to which they are progressive. Which type of political system do you think is the most compassionate? 58% said socialism. 9% said communism. Only 33% said capitalism. Socialism crushes capitalism among millennials. Tell me again what you think millennials think. You don't know a thing about millennials. You think millennials want you to work with the Republicans in handing the private insurance companies even more advantages and even more power in this capitalist system. You think that's what they want? Please, shush. Don't pretend to be things you're not on television. I'm not done yet. More young Americans declare that the most pressing issue facing America today is income inequality, more than any other issue. Income inequality was followed by education, specifically its cost. That's weird. Nowhere on the list was any of the Republican priorities, including let's make sure that the insurance companies have more profits, and let's work with Republicans to make sure that we don't have a public option, we don't have Medicare for all, we don't have universal health care. No, actually, they love those things. And so if the Republicans want to go further away from them, they do not want to work with them. What do I have to do to get it through your head? By the way, you're in the opposite party. Jesus Christ. Respondents said they most respect nurses and doctors, followed by teachers and soldiers. The least respected professions are bankers, real estate agents, elected officials, and business leaders. And Congresswoman Dingell gets out there and goes, now the Republicans are looking out for business leaders and bankers, so we should probably work with them more. Okay, 66% of the poll's respondents said corporate America, quote, embodies everything that is wrong about America. Congresswoman Dingell, tell me again how you'd like to work with Republicans to make sure corporate America is treated even better in our insurance system, and how you speak for millennials. Podcast the whole 2-hour Young Turks every single day, commercial free, All-Star Tuesdays, Aggressive Progressives, Old School, Post Games, TYT Classics. You get it all with membership. Do it now. TYTnetwork.com/join.